Hey guys, welcome back to today's Most Elite podcast. I know I've been away for a little bit. If those of you who wait for these, sorry about that. A lot of stuff, offline stuff that I talk about in a couple of our episodes. My online life's not my main source of income, so while I work on this channel and try to make this how I make money and all that, I work. So I've just been working and stuff. It's been okay. Thanks for asking, by the way. Uh, you know, Now, normally these podcasts, I always have like a theme, or like I always do a topic. I've been trying to get a guest on, uh, so maybe I'll make that happen for you guys really soon. Uh, I do want to start the Let's Play, and I'm thinking of just the first 10 episodes just be me speed running RE2 with the remake. I want to play Resident Evil 2, the original, but my PS3 is not where I am right now. So I have to wait until I go and get that, and then I will play the original, and you'll see the difference of my skill. It'll be pretty night and day actually. Whereas in the original 2, I'll be much better than I am in the new 2. I'm pretty good at the new 2, but you know, not that good. It feels good to be back talking to you guys. As I said, a lot has happened. I'll give you a quick update. Stuff. There you go. You're caught up in my life. Did it feel good? Now you're right here with me. You're caught up right there, and you're in the trenches with me, the most elite podcaster. Uh, PAX East is coming up. Now I was gonna go and I was gonna share a video with you guys, like I did for PAX Unplugged. Unfortunately, I'm gonna pull a Sony here. With this was just the fear of like the COVID-19 or the coronavirus or the Wuhan virus or whatever you want to call it. With just the fear of that being everywhere right now, I think I'm gonna just stay home and I'll like watch some streams of reveals and then talk about the reveals. I think that's the safer bet, and I don't gotta leave my couch, and I'm pretty lazy, so that works out for me. I mean, PAX Unplugged was really fun. I never did a video for you guys for it, but I did put Instagram videos up. If you go follow my Instagram, you'll see what hijinks I got up to there. That's the Most Elite podcast on Instagram, by the way. Oh, but yeah. So this video, as I got sort of off topic, but on topic at the same time. I was trying to say this video won't have a topic because I'm just sort of coming back and just talking to you guys because I missed you guys and I missed just talking. I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice, and I know that's weird coming from a guy who does a podcast, but I don't actually. Oh, hold on a second, guys. I don't remember what I was saying. Diva joined me, so she'll probably be talking. I don't know. It's up to her. Say hello, Diva.
Hi.
That's a low voice. I don't know. My mic's not that good. She got to speak up. But I was talking about missing doing the podcast because I haven't done it in a while. And this video not having a topic because it'll just be sort of a freeform video. The fact that Diva's even here is sort of a freeform thing. Just came to hang out. I was showing her the PlayStation back button. It's $30. Sony made it for poor people like me who don't have the ability to get a Astro C40 or a Scuf Vantage 2. And I think it's a pretty good value. I mean, it adds 2 buttons to anything you want. It has 3 saved profiles. So you can just sort of like, in that shooter, you don't got to take your hand off the sticks to reload. You know what I mean? Not taking your hand off the sticks is such a big thing, and I didn't know it was such a big thing until I knew. Like once I was playing Fortnite with the Fortnite, but I was playing Fortnite with the back button, and I was like, man, this is pretty awesome. So it was very exciting, and I hope they do more cool stuff like that. Now, it's a phone. I'll mute it. But what I think Sony is doing with that is that they're basically prepping us for the PS5 controller. I think the PS5 controller is just going to have the back buttons on it, and I think this is their way of, hey guys, if you haven't had a C40 this whole time, or this is their way of saying the PS5 controller will have the back buttons, but if you want to use the PS4 controller, you'll need the attachment because there will be extra buttons. It's kind of a clever marketing thing they're doing, and I think it's going to pay off for them. While we're on the topic of Sony, what's up with Sony, right? I mean, they have a banner 4 years of just zingers, knocking them out of the park with the PS4. And last year, at the end of the year, Microsoft unveiled the Series X, or the Xbox as they're just calling it. I think Series X is just to say that there'll be a Series Y or a Series Z or a Pro version, but at this point they're just computers, so I don't really see much of an upgrade if they do a Series whatever. But it's just called an Xbox. It looks like a computer tower. So Microsoft unveils that, and then Sony's like, "Oh, okay, cool." Now this is me speculating. This is not a hot take. This is not like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everybody, all of my fans know I'm an idiot, and I'm happy for that because I am dumb, you know. But I do sometimes get in a way of. Oh, you said not true?
Not true at
Oh,
all.
okay. Well, they can't hear that because look at my audio waves, right? This is a little behind the scenes for you guys. My audio waves are nice and crisp. They're clear. And then you hear Diva in the background. It's like there's nothing on my screen. There's nothing. Even her laugh is like this. I don't even know if you guys. You guys are like, Diva. Who the fuck is he talking about? Is he imagining this? Ian, are you okay? I don't know if I'm okay, guys. She might be a figment of my fucking imagination. But she's just hanging out with me, so just recording. Fuck it. Oh shit! I said fuck it. I'm getting demonetized. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't make any money on this channel anyway. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Sony. They announced that they're not going to go to E3. Not surprising. They didn't do it last year. Honestly, they don't need the ESA. They don't need them. I mean, Sony's, as I said, they've been grand slamming it since the release of the PS4. They've built a respectable library of characters, which, in my opinion, rivals that of Nintendo's characters. I mean, when you think about Nintendo, you think Mario, Zelda, right? Donkey Kong. You think of those iconic characters. You can't play those games on any other system, right? See, Nintendo understands something that I guess Microsoft might have forgot, that iconic characters and iconic software will sell your hardware no matter how shitty your hardware is. Unfortunately, it didn't work for the Wii U. We don't talk about the Wii U. But that wasn't so much the characters' fault as it was the dumbass tablet and how hard it was to design for it. And you can read tons of developer horror stories about how the Wii U was a fucking nightmare. So, whatever, fuck the Wii U. But, oh shit, fuck. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to be back in the chair. But yeah, no, dude. So Nintendo understands that if you implant like experiences solely, like how many of you remember like the first time you played a Legend of Zelda game? Like how old were you? I bet you remember when you were wearing the little stains of your sippy cup on your shirt. I bet you remember that like fondly, like, oh my god, Zelda, mom, I'm 10 or whatever I am, could you buy me this NES? And Nintendo, they did something back then, which they still do, is they created characters that grew up with you. Everyone remembers Mario, and to this day, I think I can go anywhere in the world and be like do 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 do, and then everyone will finish the song. So Sony, in these last few years, I feel like they've been like reading from Nintendo's cookbook. Like, how do we brainwash people into just playing our stuff? Because that's really all the game is. It's just play our stuff. As much as companies don't want to say that and you can play anywhere. Yeah, just play our stuff. Let's be real. So Sony has been doing that. And I think with Sony's catalog, like think of a game you can't play anywhere but on PlayStation. God of War. Now, I did a video on this channel about how much I hate the new God of War. But I hate the new God of War because I love the old ones. And you can't play God of War anywhere but on a Sony product. PS Vita, PSP, PlayStation 3, PS2, PS4. Kratos' face is forever etched into Sony's DNA. That's same with Zelda or Mario. But Nathan Drake, Uncharted. Everyone loves Drake. He's new age Indiana Jones. But you can't be Drake anywhere but PlayStation. You can't have him not somehow getting shot out in these dangerous scenarios and shit talking all the way. You can't have that unless you are on a PlayStation. So I think that they've been doing that. How can I not mention Spider-Man? Yeah, I work at a game retail store. I won't name which one because I'll get sued. But I work at a game retail store. Use your imagination. There's not many in the world. Uh, and I cannot tell you how many people come in and say, "Hey, do you have Spider-Man on Xbox?" And I just look at them with a bewildered face, like, "I'm sorry, you living under a rock, or do you just not know that you can't play as Spider-Man anywhere but on PlayStation?" Now I know that it would be confusing to some because previously most of, if not all, the Spider-Man games were released on other consoles. Like the Spider-Man 2, which is people say is the best Spider-Man game ever made, is on Xbox. You know, I mean, it's on Xbox. But Sony, with their big brain thinking, was like, what if we just made Spider-Man a PlayStation character? Because Sony owns the right to Spider-Man. If those of you who don't know, it was a big whole thing in the 80s, the comic book crash. Sony owns Spider-Man. So they was like, wait a minute, we already own the guy. Why are we letting other consoles have our guy? Let's just make him a PlayStation guy. And look, what did we get? We got Spider-Man, one of the best superhero games ever made. Like for the PS4, that game's top notch, hands down. It's no, next to Batman, the Arkham series, there are no better superhero games. Spider-Man and Batman have cornered the market in superhero games. They're just so good that you can't even, there's nothing to compare them to. So, but that's what I mean. It's like Sony has started surely to develop a library of characters that you can only find, and they've already had that for years, but now it's becoming more pronounced. They're like, hey guys, remember Ratchet and Clank? Here he is again. And now PS4 has Ratchet and Clank, which is like a soft reboot from the movie, but it's still a super solid game, and it's impossible to forget Ratchet. I hope they bring Sly Cooper out of hibernation.
I love Sly Cooper.
Yeah, everyone loves Sly Cooper. And the last game ended on a huge cliffhanger, and it's been years. So I'm hoping now with this renewed energy that Sony's been channeling, I hope they're like, fuck it, let's bring everybody back. You like Parappa the Rapper? Oh, we like Parappa the Rapper. Right? That's what I'm saying. Sony has built a catalog of characters that you can get excited about. That before, it was like, oh, PlayStation. I'm watering it down, but they definitely. They're doing a great job. Medieval, they just did the remake. I don't have it yet. I want it. Crash Bandicoot came out when? 98? 99? Mm-hmm. They remade Crash Bandicoot, and it was Europe's top seller for 12 weeks straight. I don't understand. But they did it because Crash is another character that, he was the face of PlayStation for a bit. Now he's on the Switch, Sony has a nice relationship with Nintendo. Xbox has a great relationship with Nintendo. But think of something I hate to say it, baseball. The show was the premier baseball simulator. There's no baseball game better than the show. And everyone knows that. And Sony, I guess Xbox wanted a piece of it. So in 2021, Sony was for the first time since forever, the show will be on other consoles. But just think of how long it took. And I can't help but wonder, what did Microsoft give them for that? Because they're letting them use the show, which is, a Sony product. So Sony's been doing big moves lately, and I really, really hope they continue. So they pull out of E3, circling all the way back. They pull out of E3, citing coronavirus fears, which is fair. And then today they announced they pull out of GDC. So they won't be at the Game Developers Conference either. So here's what I'm hoping. Since they're not going to be at any of these main places where you would expect an announcement, where it's sort of blasphemy to not have an announcement of some kind, since they're not going to be at those places, I'm really, really hoping that they do an extended state of play on those days. So when PAX happens, which is soon, I think the 27th to March 1st, I think, or is that Comic-Con? Whatever. When PAX happens, I hope that on Sony's channel on YouTube or whatever, Twitter, they announce a state of play. Maybe a 30-minute one. Maybe a nice long state of play. And I like the state of plays. I think they're pretty cool. They're basically like Nintendo conferences. Nobody bitches about those. Nintendo's been doing that forever. Not showing up at E3, but just being up on a big screen. Hey guys, we're in Japan. Fuck you guys. But anyway, here's some stuff. Reggie used to go all the time. Love Reggie. OG. But,
Yeah, I hope they do an extended state of play for PAX. And same thing for the Game Developers Conference. Since they are a game developer, I would hope, well, they're a game publisher. Whatever. They own a lot of developers. Looking at you, Insomniac. I would hope that they would do a state of play for the developers that day. So if the developers did have something new to announce, I would hope that Sony was like, hey, check out our smaller developer of play conference. And I would watch that over fucking GDC, honestly. I think I'm really hoping that Sony really wows me with the PS5. Even if the design is, even if people don't like, we don't know what it looks like yet. We all seen the dev kit. Sony said it was the dev kit. Everyone said it was the dev kit. Whatever. We don't know what the actual console looks like yet. And I don't think it's going to matter much. The Series X looks like a computer tower. I'm looking at my computer tower right now, and yeah, it looks just like my computer tower. So I don't think it's actually going to matter what the PS5 looks like. And the reason I think Sony hasn't announced it, and again, I'm not an investigative journalist. This is just me using my brain, and my brain's dumb, so this might be dumb.
It's not.
But Sony, I don't think they've announced it because they don't know what it cost. And they've gone on record many times this year so far saying that they want to make it. They're speculating what the opposition is going to do. They don't want to make it at a loss like they did with the PS4. They want to keep the manufacturing costs beneath $450. They want it to be fair to consumers. It's all these things that they've been saying, and that leads me to believe that yeah, they just don't know what it cost. And since they don't know what it, I think because Sony's so used to Grand Slam at this point, they're like a rock star. They're so used to getting on stage and there's millions of people in the crowd and they're like, we're going to play the whole album plus 10 bonus songs. They don't want to get on and do a 3-song set, you know? So since they don't want to do that, they want to come out and be like, not only do you know what it looks like, you know what the controller looks like, it's $400. It costs the same as the PS4 Pro. That's what they want to do. And since they can't do that yet, they have not shown it off. Yeah, I turned it on.
That's how much that is?
Yeah, the PS4 Pro is $400.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you can get it on sale for like $3. You know, it's not bad for not a true 4K machine. Oh, it's still pretty good. Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to come out with like Slash playing like the American anthem or whatever with his hat, and he's wearing a Sony hat. They want to do, yo, dude. From all their actions so far, I feel like they're finally starting to believe their own legend. Like, and their legend is greatness awaits, or the best place to play. And before, those are marketing slogans. They're like Xbox jump in. Those are marketing slogans. They just help people identify your brand. But I think Sony is actually starting to believe it. I think if you're at Sony's offices after this console generation, like I feel like you wake up like your eyes glowing, like yo, like we fucking did it, boys. You sip your coffee, smiling. You're like, oh, another great day at Sony. Like it has to be that because they have done something really special with the PS4. Sales numbers aside, although it did sell over 100 million, guys, that's crazy. That's actually insane. It's competing with the 3DS and the DS and PS2 at this point. So I mean that's something that's saying something that I feel like since they believe their own legend, they don't want to not only disappoint us because we believe their legend at this point, and they don't want to disappoint themselves. They've done great things. They want to continue to do great things, and it would just be a huge disappointment for them if they have to announce it like, hey guys, so you know, here's the PS5. Oh, it looks dumb. It looks like a bendy straw, whatever. You know, also 600. We're sorry. I mean, like, you know, that would be a bummer for them. Look, I wouldn't care. I'm an early adopter no matter what. I bought the PS4 day one. Xbox One was given to me as a gift by some of my best friends. I love it because they bought it for me and because it has some cool games on it. Unfortunately, as I discussed before on this channel, Xbox just doesn't have the exclusives. And I think Xbox, as much as they say, look, we're competing with Google, we're competing with these people, it's not even a console war, we don't even care about Sony. As much as they say that, why did they buy like 15 studios with the underwhelming performance of the Xbox One with no exclusives? You know, for a company that says, yeah, we don't care about exclusives, what do we care? You know, Microsoft, baby, get on your PC, get on your Xbox. For a company that says they don't care, why did you buy 15 studios? Why did you buy like 20 studios? Why do you parade around like, hey, we just bought all these exclusive studios. You guys like Outer Worlds? We just bought Obsidian. Like, what would be the point of that if you didn't care about exclusives? So don't let Xbox fool you. They got some exclusives in the pipeline, and I'm super excited. I love Xbox. Xbox One was a disappointment for me only because it didn't have any games that I could identify with. Gears 5, sure, I'm used to Gears at this point. I know Gears is coming. Halo, I know is coming. What else you got? Sony could be like, well, what else we got, bro? You play Horizon? You play God of War? Dude, did you see Spider-Man, bro? Mary Jane, baby boy? Like, Sony could talk that shit, and they can back it up with the numbers. All of those games I just named, they're Sony's greatest hits. You know what greatest hits means? I think you have to sell like 15 million at least to be a greatest hits. I think that's the criteria. That's crazy, you know? So, yeah, don't let Microsoft fool you. They know what's happening. They know what public perception is. Now, while internally the Xbox division might have their own goals, which is to compete with Google, and that's smart. Xbox, I will say, has the better infrastructure, internet-wise, cloud-wise. Sony even partnered with them and uses some of their software. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if that's true or not, but I'm certain it is. So, yeah, they got the better stuff. They're Microsoft. But they also know that public perception is key. They fumbled the Xbox One launch, which hurt it forever. And then they didn't have any exclusives for its entire lifespan, basically, except like 4 or 5 that I can name off the top of my head. So yeah, they know also how important it is to have games that players identify with your console. Like, it's a no-brainer. You know, when you think IBM, you think computers, computer chips, right? When you think Microsoft, you think what? That's the question that they have to answer this console generation. I think Gears of War. I think Halo. But so what? You know, most people at this point, we're getting so many experiences through our mediums that we want to identify more with more stuff, you know? And Sony right now just has more stuff. And this sort of turned into me like blowing Sony. I love Sony. I love Microsoft. I love both of them. I own an Xbox One. I own a PS4. I want them both to succeed. I don't want this to be a story of, Sony again slam dunks with the cock hanging on Microsoft's head. That's how tall over them they are. I don't want this to be that again, because that's kind of what it was this generation, because Microsoft just didn't have any answers. I love Phil Spencer. He righted the ship like no one I've ever seen. Dude, if he could come out to every press conference from now on in full captain's garb with the tricorn hat and like the little medals hanging off the side and the little, what do they call, stupid ropes that did nothing on those jackets in the 16th century or whatever. Are they tassels? Mm-hmm. Whatever. He could come out every fucking press conference. He could come out like that every time. Monocle, a compass. He could speak like a pirate the whole time. And because he righted the ship better than anybody ever. He came into Xbox division after the fumbled launch of the Xbox One. And he was like, let me fix this. Hold on, I got you, bro. And he did. He fixed it. And he's continued to do so. So Phil Spencer's the man. He's one of those guys I want to hang out with. And just like, yo, Phil, like, let me pick your brain, bro. How's the industry been treating you? Like, he's really cool. So I love Xbox and I love Sony. I really, really want both of those guys this year, you know, to really, really knock it out of the park. I really hope that they deliver great experiences that I get to talk about on this channel or hate on this channel. Like, look, I talked a lot about like bigging up Sony, but I hate God of War. That's one of their marquee titles. Fuck that game. You know, same. Look, I hate a lot of stuff, as you guys probably know this already, who follow my channel. But I also love a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping that they make some stuff that I love this year. That's pretty much the point I'm trying to get across. Damn, Sony's awesome though. I mean, honestly, like if you work at Sony, I feel like they just got complimentary BJs just around the office at this point, right? Like, bro, you been blown today? No, are we doing that? Yeah, bro, we're meeting the office, the BJ office. You know, like I feel like they just did it this year, and I'm so proud of them. And I can't forget Switch. Switch did it as well. Switch came out, sold more than the Xbox One. It's speculated. Again, Microsoft has not released the numbers. Again, another thing, you know, for a company that says we don't care what Sony's doing, we're not competing, why exactly did they stop showing us their sales numbers? Just saying. But Switch came out, sold more than the Xbox One. At least it looks like it did. And You know, Switch has a super respectable library, but it goes back to what I was saying. Nintendo knows how to milk what they milk. Look, they know who their fans are. They're the young kids, and they're the young kids from the 80s, us, at this point. And all they gotta do is stroke that nostalgia just a little bit, some upgraded graphics, maybe a new mechanic, and we're buying their games. Look, Shunitaro, whatever his name is, the one of the heads, the CFO or whatever, they were like, hey, you ever gonna lower the price of Switch? He was like, no, y'all good. And they was like, why not? He was like, why would I? You know how many people buy this joint? I can make it $350 tomorrow. People are buying it. And he's right. That's what's crazy about brand recognition. Nintendo achieved that. They got apologists at every turn. Every turn. They made a 720p system in a 4K era. Everyone's like, Switch, oh my God. A 720p system in a 4K era? They did it. So I don't want to leave Nintendo out. But you know, this video sort of turned into talking about the big three because I didn't have a topic going in. I just wanted to talk to you guys because I missed you guys. I am doing a Let's Play like this week. It's going to be Resident Evil because it's just the easiest one I could think of. I'm really excited to just do that. It'll help me get more content out. Oh, YouTube words, content bros. It'll help me get more content out, and it'll really be fun. So stick around for that. See you guys soon. Thank you for stopping in. Don't forget to subscribe and all that jazz. Or not. I don't care. Watch the video and enjoy it.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.